So I've been watching a lot of these Navy SEAL training videos, especially the parts having to do with the so-called Hell Week. Hell Week is a part of the program where the Navy SEAL aspirants, those who would like to become a Navy SEAL, they go through 1 week of grueling, tortuous, just incredible hell. For an entire week, they are basically in the water and having to do drills and wet and covered with sand and doing incredible physical work. And it is not so much the physical stress and demands, but it is the mental part that leads them, many of them, to the breaking point where they drop out. What's interesting is in if you're trying out to become a Navy SEAL, and I've used the term Navy SEAL, and I call us SEAL Team Six. But if you're trying to go through that course, the Navy SEAL course, if you break and if you decide to quit, if you cannot make it, there's a whole special procedure about how you must sort of bow out or quit. They have this bell, a shiny, big brass bell, and if you decide to quit, everything stops. You have to go to that bell and you have to ring the bell 3 times, and then I think you have to say something. So it's not like, some private little thing where you go to an instructor and nobody sees you and you say, you know what, I think I just can't handle this. You have to, in front of everyone else, make the conscious choice and go ring that bell. Now, it's interesting because when you listen to some of the stories about the Navy SEALs, and people go into the SEALs program from all walks of life. I mean, some people are, I've said this before, they could be Olympic athletes, they could be doctors, they could be lawyers, they could be construction workers, they could be firemen. I mean, they come from all walks of life, some of them incredibly physically fit and strong and conditioned, and others maybe not so much. And it's not necessarily, you cannot look at the ones who maybe physically look like they're the ones who are going to get through it. In the end, it's all about the mental pressure, and the whole process, the whole program is designed to take that SEAL aspirant and put him up against his limits mentally. Now, I talk about this because, I see many of you. I mean, I don't know many of you personally, some I've gotten to meet, but just through your signing up for my report and the emails. And for example, people who sign up for the report and then maybe take it for a month. I've spoken about the nibblers who take it or cancel the day they sign up. So they, right away, those people, they deem themselves not worthy of having anything worthwhile. They are not going to invest in themselves. And I could tell you this, if you don't invest in yourself, if you don't aspire to make yourself better, with the requisite commitment, and that might mean a commitment in time, that might mean a commitment in effort, that might mean a commitment, yes, in money, as to buy a course or a report or whatever it is. I don't know. If you automatically, with the nibblers, say, I'm checking this out, but I'm not giving this to myself, then that's a clear example of someone who is never going to avail themselves or put themselves in a position to better their situation. Now, there are others. There are others who have taken the report, and I give them credit because they took it for the full 30 days, but then they'll say something like, this is not my style, or it's not suited to my personality, which is fine. But basically, as I've said in the past, there is no style. When it comes to trading or investing, it's binary. It is black and white. There are only two styles. One style is winning and one style is losing. Now, I've documented, it's all out there. Every single trade from the MMT Trader report that has been closed out has been a profit. Every single one. All right, the report, I started writing it back at the end of March of this year. 36 issues out, every single trade. So right there, you cannot say it's not your style if the style you want is to win. It's a binary concept, winning or losing. If your style is not winning, then your style is not losing. But I wish there was a way that I could make these people sort of ring that bell like the Navy SEALs, where they have to come out publicly and state that this is not for me. They are broken mentally. Mentally, they cannot handle what it takes. Now, some of you, very impressed by some of you who have come into this game and come to me without any prior background in trading or investing. And then also, there are some of you who have come to me with a history of having been in the markets, but unsuccessfully so, and you have turned yourselves around. You have made the commitment. You have made the effort. You have pushed the boundaries mentally of what is required of you to achieve success. And that's like, with the SEAL teams, they come in, maybe a team could be, or a group could be 150 or 160 or 250, and maybe 15 or 20 people at the end will be the ones remaining who pass the entire program. But when you say things like this is not my style, it is basically an admission that mentally you do not have what it takes, or you are not willing to dig deep and embrace the mental strength and the mental concepts that you will need to be successful. And I'm telling you right now, has nothing to do with my report, has nothing to do with the approach. It has to do with what you are going to need to have, the things you are going to be required to have to be successful. Absolutely. Now, I told you in the past, I don't take losses. That is my approach. I ride out positions. I pay with time. The market accepts my time. For some people, that is something that mentally they just cannot handle. They would rather have losses. So it goes back to something I've said in the past, where losing is a behavior. Losing is a choice. It's not, it's not something that's automatic. It's not something that's mandated. It's not something that has to be. Losing is a choice. If you lose, you choose to lose. And if my style, as people say, is not a style for them, then they are making an admission that their style is they prefer losing. They have chosen losing as opposed to winning. There's a saying I once heard that it is the sides of the mountains that sustain life, not the peaks, not the summit. We all have this goal up here, or we want to get to this point of success and making a lot of money, but that's not where the real reward comes from. The real reward comes from climbing that mountain. That is the part that sustains life. That is the resistance that makes you stronger. That is the part that gives you the wisdom and experience to get to where you are going. There is no summit. There is no peak. It is the climbing, and the climbing never ends. I said that in the past. This never gets easy. So if you're thinking about coming into this, if you're thinking about signing up for the MMT Trader Report, if you're thinking about maybe you want to become a trader, And you really have to think about it very, very hard and very, very seriously, because it is going to be demanding things from you. It is going to be putting you to the test always. And if you cannot embrace the process is the reward. The process is the gold. The process is the achievement. There is no summit. There is no pinnacle. It doesn't stop at some point and then everything just opens up and starts to flow. It's a constant grind, climbing that mountain. It's the sides of the mountain that sustain life, not the summit. So don't tell me that it is not your style. Just send me emails that I have chosen to lose. I have chosen to lose. Really. Now I know you're not going to do that. I wish there was a way, because you got to be honest. And I'm not trying to put anybody on the spot. I'm really not. But when you say it's not your style, please go think about that for a second. There are only two styles, winning and losing. And if your style is not making a profit on every single trade and every single stock position, then your style is losing. So please, for your own sake, not for me, I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but for your own sake, be honest and say, I choose to lose. If you want to, try it and quit. And again, it's a free trial. And you don't even have to say anything. You could just say cancel, boom. But don't send me an email saying it is not my style and it's not for my personality. Because your personality then is a personality that embraces weakness and losing. So either send me an email that says, Mike, I choose to lose. That's ringing the bell. That would be ringing the bell. Or just send me an email say cancel. That's it. But please be honest. This whole thing is about honesty. It's about honesty from me to you. And it's about honesty, more importantly, between you and yourself. Be honest. If you choose to lose, then say that. The sooner you become honest with yourselves, the faster, the quicker you could get on a path to realizing whatever it is you want to realize in your life. But don't lead a false and phony existence. Okay? Think about it. That's all I'm saying. If you choose to lose, then state that you choose to lose. Because you want to know something? It's really very disingenuous. And it's kind of like insulting to me when you say it's not my style. That almost implies that something in here, it doesn't work. But it does work. I'm sorry. It works 100%. It is you that does not work. You don't have the mental fortitude. You cannot dig down deep inside of yourself. You don't have the grit to make it happen. And nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to happen. If you can't climb that mountain, and if you can't keep pushing yourself up the side of that mountain constantly, doesn't end. It never ends, okay? If you can't accept that, then just say, I choose to lose. Because that is honest.